Keith is bartending. Kyle's bartending. Jode, Carol Roberts.
Everyone is here.
All the comics.
Thank everyone who's here.
Let's have oh, buddy, I'm thankful to you. I wish I believed in God so I could thank something bigger because
I'm the biggest thing here right now.
Let's go on.
Welcome to Comedy in the Alley, everyone! Oh my god, this is so fun. Guys, Comedy in the Alleyway. I'm your host tonight, Jordan Foisy. Jordan Foisy is my name. I hope if you take nothing from tonight, know that the Toronto comedy scene is possibly the best comedy scene in the world. And, like, it's fucking amazing. And, like, literally, this isn't even that good of a show. Now, the comics here are my friends and also, like, amazing comics. So you guys, so Chris Robinson, everyone, make a lot of noise. Chris Robinson. Then you got James Hartnett. James Hartnett. Don Whitwell. Todd Graham. Steph Tolev. Just get going. You guys want some jokes? You guys want some fucking... Not a very confident person, people. Not a very confident person. Like, I've never said confident things. You know, I've never said anything confident. Like, I've never said something like, give me that, I'll do it. No, never said that. I never said something like, that went great. Never said that. Never said something like, stop treating me like this. No, I'm not confident. So I've only said things like, how many people are going? And sometimes people will tell me, like, for advice, they'll say, well, Jordan, you should be more confident. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know, that's the problem. I'm not confident. I know it, like, but you wouldn't go to somebody with no hands and be like, you should have more hands. Why don't you have more hands? It's way better. Have you tried life with hands? You just grab anything. Literally. You can open a fridge and grab juice whenever you want. I'm not just going to become more confident. You know, unless you own a karate dojo and you're going to give me some free classes, don't think I'm going to get more confident. Unless you can make my facial hair look like I grew it instead of collecting it and gluing it to my face. Unless you're a time traveler who's gonna go back in time and make my dad see my plays. Poor little artist boy.
So we want everything please. Well, he's got roll.
What's up? My name's Chris Robinson. I got a Jamaican background, so that means I have a crazy Jamaican grandma. Old Jamaican women have two emotions, confusion and anger. That's it. That's the only things they know how to evoke. And my grandma called me up to tell me about a news story where there's a kid who was walking home late at night. He was like 19, leaving a club, and he got jumped by 4 large Russian women, and they jerked him off in a Jeep or something. It was pretty messed up. But my grandma thought it was absolutely necessary to call me and tell me about this. So she calls me up. She's like, Christopher! I'm like, yes, Grandma? How are you doing? I'm like, I'm about to ride my bike to a show. You riding your bike? Yes, Grandma, I'm riding my bike. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick. You hear about that boy who get ripped up? And I just love speaking proper English back to her, being like, yes, Grandma, I did hear about the boy who got raped up. As you so eloquently put it. She goes, okay, me just make sure. So when you're walking home late at night, don't take no ride from no one, even if them white. Listen to that, even if they're white. Yeah, because white people just love giving random black men rides home. in the middle of the night. What are you talking about, Grandma? Like, I'm constantly turning guys down. Like, oh, shit, man, I wish I could hop in your car, stranger, but Grandma said no. Yeah, I'm just going to have to hoof it. Ridiculous. I wouldn't even, no offense, but I wouldn't really want a ride home from a random white dude. I don't know. You know, like, you guys are a little creepy. Like, if a car pulled up and it was a group of black dudes, Asian dudes, or like Indian dudes or something, I'd be like, all right, they're probably gonna jump me, steal my iPhone, but I'll still be me at the end of this experience. You know? But if I'm walking and some white dude pulls up, he's like, hop in, slugger! Just threw on some Tupac Shakur. Real neat stuff. Real neat. Why don't you come for a spin? I'll be like, I don't know, man. I got a weird feeling you're gonna trap me in your basement for 3 years. Make me wear your mom's wedding dress while you're sucking on my toes, listening to opera on vinyl. No thanks, I'll pass.
But I put together a special outfit for the show tonight. Thank you. This is a little number that I threw together that I like to call Soviet era carnival ride operator. Oh, and that actually reminds me. You know, I don't know whether you guys have noticed this, but nobody runs away to the circus anymore. It's just straight into porn. There used to be a journey. No more. I don't know if any of you guys have seen any of those. Have you seen any of those pornographic films? Ever seen one of those? Some of them are pretty good. I don't know whether you've ever seen one where somebody's wearing a Band-Aid. That takes you right out of the moment.
I did do nude art modeling once in my early 20s, guys. I know you're like, you're in your early 20s now. I know. Yeah, I did some nude art modeling. Let me just say, it was right after I took Baby Clown. I don't know if that explains anything to anyone here. It was actually like through a friend I made at Baby Clown. It was her gig, the art modeling, and she must have got a real job. I took over for her. They had already started on her. It was a clay one, not like painting. And so they're making a clay thing. And so I show up for my first day and disrobe and take my position, which is some little thing like that. And the first thing they all start doing is just cutting off huge slabs of clay and just adding it to the whole thing. Like they had made like shapes and stuff. It just became like huge blobs again. And it went on for so long. I was like, guys, you've got enough clay to work with now. And then one of them, so they start talking to me during the class, and they find out I do stand-up. And one lady's like, tell us a joke. And again, immediate instinct, no. I just knew not to do that. I was like, I'm feeling exposed enough. That's what I said to them. But imagine if I did like which joke, and then it got like no response whatsoever, and I'm sitting there naked. And I gotta die naked. Anyways, no, I'm not doing that. Then one of the women was not very nice, and on the last day of class, she said to the teacher, for our next art model, could we get someone with some muscle tone, please? No kidding, I know. I'm like, I'm sitting right here, naked, with no muscle tone. It's very hard to sit for this long without any muscle tone.
But I found something out this summer. I realized that 29 years old is way too old to go water tubing. Who's with me? Shut up. You should be. You should be. Your brain shouldn't move like that anymore, but it does. I was sitting on my dock drinking about 6 Caesars. Way too many Caesars. A lot of sodium, a lot of spicy beans. Felt real sick. Celery salt just dripping on my chest. It was a real fun time. And Ross Campbell, hell of a man, hell of a tube driver, pulls up to the front of the boat, front of the dock, in his boat. He's not on a dock on a boat. It would have been fun if he was. And he looks at me and he's like, "You want to go for a tube?" I'm like, "You're goddamn right I do, Ross." And I should mention, both of Ross's eyes are wonky. You don't know where you're looking with that guy. They are wibbly wobbling all over the place. You look in the middle, hope for the best, right? So I'm like, "Put me on there, Ross." So I'm on the tube. And he is just doing loops in the middle of the lake. I'm not sure if it's because of the eyes. I don't know what's going on, but he is just circling around. So I'm like, "Brrr!" Like, I am really having a hard time with this tube. I wipe out. I'm like floating like this dead fucking log in the water. So like Ross pulls up to make sure I'm okay, and he looks down. He's like, "Oh, you doing all right?" I'm like, "I don't know, Ross. I don't feel so good." He's like, No, are you doing okay?" And I looked up, and I realized that both of Ross's eyes had centered straight. I'm like, something's going on right now. And I looked down, and the impact from the fall had moved my life jacket and my bathing suit over, and my one tit was just floating in the water. Like, now I know what Ross likes. Just the one tit. Two would be weird. One wet tit. Here we go, Rossi. Center him up. Let's chat. Let's have a long talk, Rossi boy. What's going on? How's the fam? Here it is. Shut up. How's the power plant doing, you piece of shit? Good man. Hell of a man. Hell of a boat driver.
Ebola. ISIS. Death. Disease. Our local Toronto sports teams. Getting murdered. When someone double dips a chip into the dip that you want to dip in later. You know, guys, with all of these terrible things going on in the world, isn't it nice to just take a few minutes, step back, and laugh for a second? Hi. I'm James Hartnett. I know what you're all thinking. Oh, great. This guy's punk. But I'm not punk. I'm just actually a normal guy who happens to have a really extreme look.
This has been a pretty amazing night, right? Can we all agree? I can imagine there's literally nobody else doing this in the world right now, so that's pretty cool. Except other than in Tibet, where they actually have a thriving garage comedy scene. It's weird. We gotta make a loud noise for the homeowners setting this up, annoying their neighbors, but they don't give a shit. Jode and Carol Roberts, everyone. Jode and Carol Roberts. Carol Roberts, this is her birthday. We should sing happy birthday for Carol. Okay, guys, let's do happy birthday to
The happy birthday song is my least favorite song in the entire world. Nobody ever, did you really want it, Carol? Did you want the song? It's awkward, it's weird. Comes at the worst times, clearly. We're in a garage. It's a bad song. Anywho, okay. I had to go out for my sister's birthday, but we had to go to a nightclub, and I'm assuming everybody here doesn't go to nightclubs. We're all wearing cool vests and scarves right now. There's no way any of us do that. I don't. Like, I usually wear oversized Wolf t-shirts, so legally, I don't think I'm even allowed on Richmond Street. So we get there, and my friends are like, all right, everyone get together, we're gonna get a photo. I'm like, I am sober, I can't do this, please, let's just skip the photo thing. And they call the photo guy, like, Chancho, come here. I'm like, who the fuck's Chancho right now? Chancho scampers over to get a photo. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable right now. Like, okay, on the count of 3, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna do the sailor. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, none of you even know what a sailor looks like, do you? Like, they're like, off to sea, see everyone later. Like, that's not the move they fucking do. So they're all like, and I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. So I'm just like, like just being gross, right? So the guy keeps taking photos. I'm getting like lower and grosser and grosser. He's like, ma'am in the wolf shirt? I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, you're literally going to have to leave the photo right now. I'm like, you don't want a giant wolf shirt and double chin on the front of the website tomorrow? Come on, boys, hop on the cougar, see a long so girl. They didn't want it. I left the photo immediately. So I wanted to leave, and I'm like, we need to leave the club right now. I have to get the fuck out of here. So I lose my sister, and I see her across the club, and she's getting hit on by this douchebag, and I'm like, fuck this. So I turn to like a linebacker. I'm like, we're getting out of here now. Just like throwing people out. It works really well through a crowd. So I get over to her, and this guy is literally like, okay, like the worst person ever. White dress shirt, cut off sleeves. Must have been a hot night. Cool, bro, whatever. Tucked into a Superman studded belt buckle, 98, whatever. Keeping it real, keeping it together. Sure, whatever, sure. Leaning on nothing. Nothing there at all. Solid air lean. Bold choice, buddy boy. Okay, how long are we gonna hold this up for? Cool. No lips. Negative lips on his face. How do you have no lips? Usually one's on a face, right? You fell lip first into a fire and both your lips were burnt off. Why do you have no lips? So he's lipless, leaning on nothing. And I'm like, this is going to be the worst. Looks my sister up and down. He's like, what's your name, gal? I'm like, we are not fucking giving this guy a name. No fucking way. So right away she's like, Sarah. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was fast. You've done this before. Holy shit. He's like, yeah, who's this? She's like, my sister. He's like, yeah. What's your name? I'm like, fuck. Sarah! Just a couple of sisters, both named Sarah. It was really hard growing up. My parents were stupid. They'd be like, Sarah, get to bed. We'd be like, which one? We both went running. He just walked away. He's like, cool, Sarah. See you later. I'm like, fuck off, you piece of shit.
One thing about my dad is he doesn't have any top teeth. He's never, I don't know if, I don't think, like, I think he had them, but as long as I've been alive, no top teeth. He's always had, yeah, it's crazy, right? He's always had dentures. And on top of that, he's also lost 3 of the teeth from his dentures. Which is crazy. Because you don't even have to brush those. Like, those don't fall out. Like, those are just kind of there. Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is he's a toothless father, right? So as you might imagine, he gives some pretty bad advice. He gives some toothless father advice, I think, would be the way you describe. I think the worst advice he ever gave me, the worst advice that my dad ever gave me, is one time he went, hey JD, Jordan Desiree, my middle name is Desiree. That's true. No accent aigu on it, spelled like desire. Actual fact. So he goes to me, he goes, hey JD, if you're ever hungry and you can't afford supper, get yourself a Snickers bar. What? Yeah. Get yourself a Snickers bar. Because they're cheap There's proteins in there. You know, they got peanuts in them, and it'll fill you up. I was like, oh, thanks for the advice, incredibly toothless man. Did you just tell me to eat a candy bar for supper? Man who's lost 18 of a possible 16 top teeth? I think I'm gonna go my own way on supper. What other advice do you have? Hey, JD, if you ain't working, sleep all day. Hey, son, women are snakes.
Jordan just reminded me a bit of my, when he was talking, my dad is also missing some upper teeth. But we're from Hamilton, that's our excuse. He did get them kicked out in a bar. But then he lost the dentures one Christmas. And we're like, Dad, what's going on? And he's like, you know what, Don? I don't miss them. And I was like, you know what, Dad? I do. Work that out. But I guess he gives some toothless advice as well, because when I came out to my dad, he did his best. But this was his advice to me. Stay away from small women. The venom's more concentrated in them. So, it was his dating advice for me now that I'm on the new dating playing field. Avoid the tiny ones. Got it.
Can I make a confession to you guys? Yeah?
For the last 3 weeks, I have been trying very hard to come up with a good Morgan Freeman impression. After 3 weeks of trying very hard and putting a lot of effort into it, this seems to be the best that I can do.
Not too good.
I'm mostly hanging out with white people nowadays. It's not bad. You guys are cool. You know, you guys are like salt. You know, like add a little bit of white. Sick. All right, nice. Makes you feel a little bit safer. Only time it sucks is when I'm the only black guy at a house party, because then everyone wants to freestyle battle me. You know, I'm like, fuck, man, I can't rap that good. Okay, shit. But one thing I definitely like about hanging out with white people is you guys walk fast. That's the shit right there. Anytime we're hanging out, all right, gonna get there on time. Like, nice. I'm about that. That's one thing I don't miss about hanging out with my black friends, man. Young black dudes walk so slow. It is insane. You ever see a group of young black dudes like just walking in subway or some shit? Yo, link me a transfer, dog. Like, I feel like every group of young black dudes should have one super old Asian man just slowly going the exact same pace, holding a bag of groceries, smoking a cigarette, has live turtles in it and shit.
So we went on vacation not too long ago. We decided to go to visit the third world, and we stayed in a first world compound. But I realized, it's kind of the opposite of what we have here. We live in the first world, and then we have all these Indian reserves. Guys, I didn't create the system. I'm probably like a lot of you. I passively support it through my inaction. You know that they make a lot of clothes in the third world. A lot of our clothes they're made in the third world by children. Did you know that? Well, I didn't want to be the one to tell you. I do wonder though, are the little boys paid more than the little girls? So I think if they're paid equally, that's actually pretty progressive. I'm just gonna go.